Okay, I'm Roberto Benzo, and the head of the Mindful Breathing Laboratory at Mayo Clinic. We devote ourselves to find interventions that are aimed to increase self-awareness and self-management to deal, live, cope with chronic disease. And I came from Argentina willing to be a researcher, and with I guess the paradigm of adding more training will give me wisdom and will give me direction on what to do. And I, after going through many places, ended up in Harvard and then doing everything I wanted to do, I realized that everything was not enough and there was something else missing. There is something else I need to look forward for meaning, and that's why, particularly when I encounter patients in which they didn't have a fixing solution for their disease, so what to do then? So it kind of was a personal crisis in a way that it gave me the opportunity to look for something else. It was kind of what is called in Zen, it says that the obstacle is the pathway. Is the way out. It's actually the obstacle is the opportunity to look for some other meaning, and then is when I actually started to look for things that will give meaning to myself in my own practice with patients, and actually meaning to patients in which they don't have a true solution, a true fix for their disease. So in one of my many I guess journeys in looking for answers, I came across the Presencing Institute, and I pretty much I am in communion with this unique process of observation that is necessary, this total silence that is necessary in front of the problem to kind of create the conditions for have inner wisdom, to have this spark that you can have it only in the context of this nothingness, but it's a very special nothingness. It's like Einstein. I got the theory of relativity figured out when he actually was working in a patent office in Switzerland, just using seals all the time, doing kind of a very menial thing, and he got the spark there. So I think that, again, a personal journey into going beyond what was, I guess, the schedule for success, and then finding that schedule for success, it wasn't enough. It's a lot of personal work, and that is the good thing, because it's something that really depends on you. It depends on this, on the willingness, on the put all your forces into this discovery, into this being there, into the unknown most of the time. It's like, I think the message is give yourself permission of not knowing what the solution is and just dive into the problem. Do the free fall and actually create the silence that will allow you to listen to people, to listen to yourself. And in this concept, in that environment, is where things start to kind of emerge, pop up, and then when you do it, you start to become familiar with it. And so then uncertainty is not a problem. You just be there. Or problems are not problems, are opportunities for you. So things like meditation really are very important in my life. Sport is very important in my life. I run triathlon, and for me it's another opportunity for actually create a condition of complete stillness, or completely being there, completely being in my body, starting to read myself. And so I think, and it's a source of joy, and it's a source of contentment. And I'm not saying happiness, because sometimes you cannot be happy with some situation, but contentment, just being there, having the patience just to stay, that is something that it was part of this practice with myself. Well, most of all, And very important, if nothing is it's not magic. It's a situation of silence and being okay with things as they are. So that is a very important point. Not trying to start without the idea of fixing in mind. So you just be there, you just breathe with the situation as it is, and that's it. It's something is so commonsensical that is for everyone. It's not for enlightened people, for monks. This is for people very busy trying to kind of get away, or just trying to go on with their life. And particularly, again, looking for attention, awareness, being present, not leaving any moment get by without actually feel it with all your heart. So take an opportunity to stop. I think that this is take a everyday opportunity to really stop and look. And looking deeply at life is the journey, is the pathway for contentment. And I think that get moments of solitude, get moments in which you really come down to know who you are. And that is something that starts with asking yourself, what am I here for? What am I doing? How do I feel? And being okay with being sad, being okay with being anxious, being okay with being with yourself. This friendliness that you exert to yourself is the most important loving kindness, if you will, act that you can do. And then you feel a unity that is completely fine and okay, and you don't need the acceptance of other people because you accept yourself. So that's what I would recommend with a version of me 20 years younger. People don't learn from because you say so. People learn when conditions are created for them to kind of grow from within and say, well, this is what I want to do, or this is what I want to try, and that's okay if I miss it. That's okay. Life is the laboratory. If there's just throwing yourself wholeheartedly into what you do, no matter how important it is, being a student at MIT, or if you are just being a worker in the field, everything is as important. Einstein used to say that if he come back, he would be just a regular worker. He learned very simple stuff. And with the stature that he had. So I think that no matter in which situation you are, if you do it wholeheartedly, you give the most important thing that life can ask, and you will value every moment. I feel like while I'm here living, I have endless opportunity to express myself and to give things that so my dream is to be awake enough to really see things as they are and like them, and provide myself with all my heart to people. And I think that we all have a place in life, and for some reason we get where we get. And my dream is to be awake, to really be awake, to not be distracted by things, and by being awake, I think I won't hurt people, and I think that I will be more content, and I will be content with this life. Without asking for anything else. Kind of the completeness of life, and is there when you actually completely awake. We go through problems. And life is full of tragedies and catastrophes, and that's okay. I think that the real value of life is being able to keep going and keep walking and keep working and keep observing to find that inner wisdom in the context of tragedy, catastrophe, problems. And the perfect self comes from this acceptance, for this presence, not for having everything fine. That doesn't exist. But if somebody says that exists, it's lying. So the thing is, the real life is full of problems, and the thing is the matter is to dance in the rain, not to get wet.